How's it going, guys? It's Kevin from SubiSpeed. It is the beginning of the holiday season. We've got Thanksgiving and Black Friday next week, and then Cyber Monday the next, and then you have a couple weeks to do some holiday shopping before the end of the year. But this week, yesterday actually, Cobb announced their 10% off sale, which they usually have once a year. Every other day of the year, you can't get a discount on Cobb products unless you're military, because certified dealers have to abide by their very strict MAP policy. So if you've been wanting to pick up an access port, an exhaust, intake, a flex fuel kit, or any Cobb tuning product, now is the time to do so if you want to save some money. All you have to do is head on over to our website, put all the Cobb products you want into your cart, hit that View Cart button that's located in the My Cart tab on the top right-hand side of the screen. Type in the code COBB10 and hit that Apply button, and voila, you've just saved some money. Now, because it is 2-Minute Tuesday, I'm going to quickly go through some of the important gauges you should be monitoring on your Cobb Accessport, since we do get a lot of questions on this. So let's put 2 minutes on the clock and get rolling. We're going to take a look at 6 different gauges that I suggest you guys keep on your screen. The first one being the boost gauge. Simple enough, this is going to be where you're able to monitor if you're hitting your target boost levels. Keep in mind, the peak boost readings are going to change due to the temperatures and such outside. The second gauge is the dynamic advanced multiplier, otherwise known as your DAM, which is basically a global correction for your ignition timing that's useful in determining the overall health of your car. So when the ECU senses excessive knock, it's going to pull timing to help prevent any damage to your engine. Ideally, you want to keep this as close to 1 as possible, but it is common for this number to drop from time to time due to things like bad gas or high intake temps. But if you see this drop continuously and it doesn't make its way back up to 1 over a prolonged period of time, that is going to be something you're going to want to look into. Next up, we have the feedback knock gauge. Now, this is where we have people asking us, I was out cruising and my Cobb Accessport showed a negative 1.41 reading for the feedback knock. Is my engine going to explode? Well, no, probably not. Since this uses a mic on the engine block that is programmed to pick up certain frequencies, there is a chance that it's going to pick up something that's not necessarily knock. We've had people turn on their AC and get a negative 1.41 feedback knock reading. Cobb themselves states anything from a negative 1.41 to about a negative 2.8 is considered normal during cruising. Now, if you have something with a negative 3 and up, that's going to be cause for concern. Similar to feedback knock, we have fine knock learn. Now, where feedback knock was a live knock count, basically, fine knock learn is a learned correction that the ECU uses to tweak the timing based on specific ranges that are determined by load and RPM. So where the range of numbers is going to be similar, you definitely don't want to see these spike when you're under wide open throttle. Then we have the air-to-fuel sensor 1 ratio, and as the name suggests, it is your air-to-fuel ratio. Now, numbers are going to differ from car to car depending on your tune, so specify with your tuner to see what numbers you should expect. For most off-the-shelf maps, for idle, you should see around 14.7, and under wide open throttle, anything from 11.3 to 11.6, with it tapering off towards redline. Last but not least, we have AF learning, which shows a percentage correction for fueling. So if it's a positive number, that indicates that the ECU is adding fuel, and if it's a negative number, the ECU is pulling fuel. So the closer you are to 0, the better, but a plus or minus 8% range is acceptable. When you get more than negative 8%, that means your ECU is pulling a good amount of fuel, and that can be a result of a leak in your intake track, or a bad MAF or O2 sensor, or you have the wrong MAP flash that's not designed for your intake or injectors. If it's anything more than plus 8%, that means your ECU is adding a lot of fuel, which can be from a failing fuel pump, dirty injectors, or again, a bad MAF or O2 sensors. That basically covers everything, guys. Probably went over 2 minutes, but hopefully I was able to give you guys a better understanding of what you should expect and what you should be monitoring on your Accessport. Again, the numbers are going to vary, so talk with your tuner to see what you should expect, and if you see something out of the ordinary, they're going to be the ones that take a look at your data log and are able to tell you what's going on with your car. That being said, again, if you are looking to pick up some Cobb tuning products, use the code COBB10 to get 10% off those products until the 26th. I think it's the 26th. It's Cyber Monday, the Monday after Thanksgiving. Yeah, 26th, I think. Then that's about it, guys. I'll see you next time. And then you have a couple weeks to do some holiday shopping before the end of the year. But, yeah. Every other day of the month, no, probably not. Not likely. No, probably not. I need a burp. Weak.